What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. This is Road to Master Rank, which I guess I'm calling it now. This is episode number 3 in our journey to be the greatest Formula 1 driver the world has ever seen. Of course, I don't mean that seriously. We're just trying to get the rank to look like we are the world's best player. But anyway, here we are for round number 3. I'm going to take things up a notch. And hopefully that can result in a faster path to where we want to go. We're going to invest in some setups. I only have like a loose setup that I use across all the different tracks. And so I thought I'd get setups for the tracks that we visit most frequently in this game mode. It seems that Spa, you know, the likes of Monza, Brazil, and the odd high downforce track is where we seem to go a lot of the time. So I'm getting setups for those types of circuits. And before we even get straight into the action, I thought I'd do some warm-up and some practice so that our chances of winning are just that much higher. But as you can see, first lap in anger, yeah, that was a bit of a doozy. Our second lap and our first proper one that we got in got us a 1 minute 7.5, 700th on the leaderboard, so make of that what you will. But anyway, we don't really care about the time trial leaderboards. We can leave that for another video. We're getting setups for other tracks as well now. I believe this is Singapore, and we can adapt this to tracks like Monaco and also Hungary. I just wanted a really high downforce setup that I could use just in case we need it, and away we go. We're also going to go for a very, very low downforce setup at the other end of the spectrum for Monza. So there you go. We are now ready to get into the action. If you enjoy this series, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more racing game content. The first track we're off to is Britain. Oh. That's a bit weird. Not sure what happened there. Okay, we're back. My game crashed. So, that's weird. That doesn't really happen that often. It doesn't really happen at all, not in that manner anyway. But we're back for another race. We're off to the Australian Grand Prix, my home race. So let's see if we can impress the home crowd. This time we're actually qualifying, so we have a chance to qualify at the front and do what we like from there. It's very imperative that we get track position. I don't want to have to fight my way through the field and overtake a lot of idiot drivers who might potentially take us out. We just want to minimize that risk. I want to get a clean lap in here. If you corner cut or extend or anything, you lose the lap and you're starting last. And given that we did most of that in last episode, I want to avoid that as much as possible. Across the line, it is pole position for my home race. 121.2. It's an okay lap for one-shot qualifying standards. And it gets us on pole. P1, baby. So here we are for the race. That's a random Australian announcer. Sounds pretty good, doesn't he? 5 red lights, and away we go for the Australian Grand Prix. It looks like it's been a pretty good start here. We need to get off on the right foot. Need to build some momentum for this episode. Last one, we cruelly lost 100 points towards our ranking and got demoted back down to silver. So, yeah, we don't want to be having that again. We want to have a clean run where we just get through all these races, smash it out, and get ourselves to master rank as fast as possible. Here we go, fastest lap time.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
Oh no. No, as Into the Barrier would say. I've only gone and royally coughed that one up. I got a bit too confident, I suppose, trying to push the boundaries too much. I had a lead of like something ridiculous. I think it was like 5-6 seconds, maybe more. Going for fastest lap, pushed it too much, and I have pushed myself into the barrier. Last lap of the Grand Prix, we are fighting to stay on the podium here in the Australian Grand Prix. I know we're still in second place at the moment, but P3 and P4 isn't too far back down the road as well, so I need to make sure I keep this position. The higher you get in these races, obviously the more points you'll get for your license. And license, it's not a license, it's your skill rating. You don't want to get beaten by other players, essentially. But it looks like we're doing just that. The understeer at high speed was ridiculous. With a red front wing, Australian Grand Prix, this track is mostly comprised of high speed corners, and we're just feeling it at every single apex. Last lap here. Last chance to hold on to position here. We're not going to get back P2. These guys seem to be fairly competent, and they're not going to throw away their position, unlike me. But here we go. We got Darth Nemo here. Very threatening name as he piles his way into the penultimate and now final corner. Need to make sure we don't understeer wide here. Just park it on the apex. Save all the ERS and fuel that we've got. Actually, not much fuel there. We might run out, but no, we're fine. P3 should have been a win.
Let's get out of here.
What can I say apart from that? We gained some rating there somehow, so I'll take that. We need to get to 2,000 in order to get back up into gold, so that's going to be the aim for this episode, I suppose. But we had the pace, and ultimately we threw it away. Really, really disappointing. What's this? I gotta say, this is getting a bit weird now. Throwing away a win, my game crashing, and now disconnecting despite not disconnecting, and now my game crashing again. Codemasters, what is going on? I don't understand why my game is blowing up all of a sudden, but we're off to another lobby. This is Canada, and it's happened again. Cool. Awesome. What am I supposed to do now with my life? I took to Twitter to get some suggestions. I can't remember what I did, but I did try a couple of things, and now, hopefully, it should be okay. We join another lobby. And we go again, I suppose. Right. I'm taking this much more seriously now. We've done many things. One, we've now switched to the DX12 beta. That's why it says work in progress, though it probably aptly describes the state of my game right now. Two, I have monitored the, I don't know, graphics and temperatures of all my things, and it's not overheating, so it's not that. It's not my memory. It's all fine. And I've updated all of my drivers and everything on my graphics card, so that shouldn't be a problem either. Can we please have some clean racing? I said that at the wrong time. Anyway, we're racing now. We're actually racing, and we can make some progress towards master rank. Right, let's do this. Even though we have a yellow front wing, I don't care. We're gonna get this master rank, whether Codemasters wants me to do it or not. P9 in the Belgian Grand Prix, the 20,000th time you've seen the Belgian Grand Prix on my channel in the last week. Hope you're enjoying the content. We've got a McLaren up next. Let's see if we can dispatch of him in quick time. We only have 5 laps to do this from pretty much the back of the grid. Yellow front wing still on the car, despite it being reduced damage in quotation marks. You still feel the effects of all the damage that is on offer on this game. That is P7. McLaren runs wide. We force him to the inside, and we manage to do the under and over through Pouon. I think it's Pouon. Anyway, round the outside of the Force India. Thank you very much. That is P6. We need to get a top 5. You need to be like top 5, top 4 in order to get a positive amount of points. And we've got the McLaren coming back at us here. Interesting scenes as we run up our Rouge. Or shall I say, no, Eau Rouge, it's Eau Rouge at this point. And McLaren gets back in front, but we're going to use a bit of ERS, a bit of slipstream to get back past. Unfortunately, when you join and you're at the back, you're restricted to the default setup as well. So again, another setback to have to overcome in this race. That pass just falling off the racetrack. I appreciate that very much. Next up, we have a Mercedes, and this is for P3, a podium in this Belgian Grand Prix. He falls off the racetrack as well, and now, all of a sudden, we're in a good position here. P2, just up the road, with 2 laps to go. Could we potentially win this race? Oh, no, 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 no. God's sake. We just lost another 120, 100, I don't know, a good 100 points there for the game crashing. This system is so flawed. one bad race and you lose 100 or more points. You have one good race, you can beat Brendan freaking Lee in your race and you'll only get 30 points. How is that fair? We're at Spain for a 25% race.
We're approaching the pit window.
I've done more changes to my PC. I don't know what, but I did some. And I did some small testing.
Right, come in at the end of this lap.
And the issue seems to have disappeared. Now let's pray that we can get through this race and recover all of the lost ground that has just been taken away from us, completely out of our hands. Last episode we got taken out by some absolute prick. 100 points down the drain. Last race, crashed. 100 points down the drain. Now, I don't want this to be a 1,000 race episode, so I would like to get to Master Rank at some point before Christmas or before F1 2019 comes out, so I've got a bit of grinding to do. We're leading this race by an absolute mile. We're just overtaking the guy who was leading. He hasn't made a stop yet, so we're leading by a pit stop here in this race. We're going to go on and set the fast up for the Grand Prix, but this time we're not going to crash out in the process. So that will be nice. A bit of controlled aggression this time on my part. Across the line.
You're hitting the energy
Boom. 19-0. That was the Grand Prix. The tyres were starting to go off, so I, kind of eased it off a little bit. And there we go. That was the race. We're finally going to get some points back in this road to Master Rank. We have got a victory. Thankfully, something goes our way. Oh. There we go. Leave a like, subscribe, all the good stuff. We have done it here, ladies and gentlemen. Only 30 points, but it's something. And we can move on to the next race with our heads held high. Unbelievable. So that was our rank before last race, and this is our rank now. Another 100 points down the drain. Despite winning the freaking Grand Prix and the race being over for me, I still lost 100 points. Codemasters, you've got some explaining to do. 5 red lights and away we go for what might be the final race I ever do on F1 2018. We're going full send in this Italian Grand Prix in a last-ditch effort to get some points back. We caused that turn 1 incident, but to be fair, there were lots of other people behind me who also missed their braking point just as badly as what we did, and it's P5. More front wing damage, but at this point, who really gives a crap? I may as well take a break if this race doesn't go well and hopefully reset my rank and then go from there, because at this point, things are just really going down the can, aren't they? Around the outside of the Toro Rosso, that's P4. We've got good pace in this race, it seems. We're chasing down a lot of guys despite having damage ourselves. Much like the Spa race, it seems. Just so much adversity in this series.
Okay, clear.
Keep getting knocked down, but we're going to keep fighting. We will not give up until we get Master Rank. Up the inside, here we go into turn 1. The guy in the Haas, to be fair to him, actually holds on to that position. We get better drive around the outside of turn 1, and now it's going to be a drag race here into the middle sector. My teammate is in the pit lane. I do not care about that, so stop spamming it to me, game. P3 back on the podium, and the guy in P2 is just a good few seconds up the road. I think this is doable. I think we have the pace to chase these guys down despite being remarkably slow through the corners. We just have OP straight line speed for days, and here we go. On the back straight, P2, the leader, is only a few seconds up the road as well, and we have 3 laps to chase him down, so let's put the pressure on, see if we can do this against all odds, and win this Italian Grand Prix through to the chicane. I love it when you can go over that, just glide over the top of it, buttery smooth, and away we go. We're chasing him down, we're reeling him in by like a second a lap. It's the last lap of the Grand Prix. There's a yellow flag up ahead, and I'm not too sure why. It seems that our race leader has just thrown it away. We are going to win the Italian Grand Prix. Despite this guy who was a lap down trying to take us out, he will not stop us. It's a W. Thank you very much.
Awesome, man! Truly awesome! What a win!